You're watching NorCal Daily Driven, and my name's Salim. Thanks for clicking that play button. If you watched that last video, you saw that I got a ZR1, a 2010 ZR1. And oh man, it's been some awesome days with this car. It's been pretty crazy. Every time I get in it puts a big smile on my face, ear to ear. I mean, so much power, so much performance. It's insane. The torque is everywhere. Everybody's asking about it. All my coworkers, you know, they want to ride it and everything. Really cool. Love the car. I've been trying not to drive it every day to work. It's just hard to. So a couple days this week I left it at home and I took the M3. And I don't know, I found myself just wanting to drive the ZR1. I was sitting at work looking at ZR1 stuff, and I'm like, man, why didn't I drive my ZR1 today? So Friday I drove the ZR1 to work and, you know, got that out of my system. Today I went to a Cars and Coffee. It was pretty cool. But anyway, on to the video. What's the first thing after you get the car you've been looking for or wanting for a while? Well, we can't leave it stock, right? We got to put some mods on that thing. So I got some mods in the mail, and I actually ordered the mods before the car came. So once I had the car secured and hadn't shipped yet, I ordered a couple things. Nothing too crazy, just some small little like bonus items or cleanup items you want to say. So let's get into it. I ordered some LED fog lights off of Amazon. These are 60 watt. I think they're 60 watt. They're basically supposed to be like a bright white, maybe a little tinge of blue. The reason I got them is because the factory car, or from the factory, the car comes with HIDs, which are, you know, super white, has a little bit of blue in it or whatever. But then you get the fog lights and it's got that yellow halogen look to it. And I don't like that. There's really no point to that. So I wanted to match, and obviously everything's LED these days, so might as well take advantage of, you know, more output, better light, so on and so forth. So that's the first mod. The second mod that I got, which I also had on my last Corvette, which is pretty common for all Corvette guys to get. I got this. This is a mild to wild exhaust controller. So basically, from the factory, the Corvettes come with the bi-mode exhaust, which is like a flapper and exhaust. So of the 4 tips, only 2 of them put out exhaust fumes or exhaust gases until you pass a certain RPM or you're full throttle, and then the other flaps open up and the car gets a lot louder. Well, with this switch, which is mounted on the dead pedal, or the pedal next to your clutch, it gets mounted there, so you could open and close the switch whenever you want. Right now, the previous owner had a mild to wild controller installed as well, but they had a key fob version. But when I bought the car, it didn't come with any of the key fobs. And I contacted the previous owner. I actually found them on Facebook. I found the wife, and I sent a message to her. She responded, "Hey, it's a great car, blah blah blah," but didn't really acknowledge. She acknowledged that it had a switch for the exhaust, but she didn't respond back when I asked her what they do with the key fob. But anyway, I don't want it on a key fob. It's just another thing to put on your key ring and your pockets get bulgy, or it's just another thing to put in your car. I'd rather have it mounted by my foot so it's always there, and then I could just, you know, click it on, click it off. It's not visible to anybody. No one can see it. Only I know it's there, and it's a nice little, you know, discreet way of, you know, switching the exhaust. And what's also a big help is that in the morning when I get out, when I go to work, I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock I go head to the gym. So at 5 o'clock when I start the car, my garage faces my neighbor's backyard, or my neighbor's front yard. So, sorry, my neighbor's window, so their bedroom basically. So it's pretty loud, and I don't want to piss anybody off at 5:30 in the morning or 5 in the morning. So it'd be nice to start it in quiet mode instead of loud cold starts all the time. But anyway, it's kind of crowded in the garage. I got the M3 here, I got the ZR1 in here, so I need to make some room. So let's make some room. Alright, before we get started, let's get a before video of what the fog lights look like, the current ones. So let me turn off the lights in here. Well, Let me turn the fog lights on first so they don't make it completely dark. So that's what the fog lights look like now. You could see it lights up the housing in a yellowish tinge. And the light it puts out is yellowish halogen light. Let me turn the garage lights off here, you get a better look. There you go. So we'll compare that, do a little before and after. So this is before. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, I'm not going to do a step-by-step because there's plenty of other videos out there that you guys can watch to do this. So I'm just going to briefly talk about what I just did here. I drove the car up on a piece of wood because there's no way I'm going to get my low-profile jack under this car without some extra clearance. So I lifted up the tire. The access to the fog light is through here. So that's why I did that. So I need to get to the fog light. So I'm going to take the wheel off. It's my easiest way. I'm not sure it's the easiest way or the right way to do it. It's my easiest way. So I got this thing up in there. Gonna take the wheel off, get access to it. And that's my dog Coconut. So she'll probably be walking around here in the video. So don't mind her. Okay, I had some technical difficulties there. I took all the lug nuts off. The tire should just pop off. The wheel should just pop off. For some reason it was stuck. I've run into this problem before. Usually I just, hit the sides of the tire or whatever. It loosens it, knocks it loose. That didn't work. Took my dead blow hammer, hit it a couple times on the tire on the front. Still nothing. So what I did was I turned the wheel all the way so that I have access to it from that side, and I hit it from the back, again on the tire, not the wheel, and finally it popped loose. I gotta be extra careful because this thing has carbon ceramic brakes, and I think each rotor is like $2,000, so can't afford to chip a rotor here. So now that we have the tire off, we basically need to access behind the front bumper. There's a couple screws here on this splash guard, and there's a couple of pop clips up top. So guys, we popped the old one out and we're about to pop the new one in. So just a side-by-side comparison of what they look like. This is the halogen one that I just pulled out, comes from the factory. This is the LED one that's about to go in there. So you could see the bases are the same. It's just the lighting element is different, obviously. So let's pop this one in, see how it goes. Alright, so we popped the new one in. Just a little tip from wrenching experiences in the past. If you're at this point where you put the new part in, before you go ahead and button everything up, because you're guaranteed that you think that everything is going to work exactly how you think it should, let's go ahead and turn the light on to make sure that it does work before I button this back up. Because the last thing I want to do is button it up, put the wheel on, turn the light on, it doesn't work. So let's go ahead and turn the light on and see how it goes. Alright, so it's on. So let's turn off this light. And let's turn off the garage light to see what the comparison is like. So there we go. That's the LED compared to the halogen. You could see the LED has a lot more light output. It's a broader pattern. As far as the focused halogen, the light color on the new one is obviously a lot closer to the factory HID color, which is a super white with a little bit of blue. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the HID and we'll see how close of a match we have here. So I'm going to put the camera down on the tire here. Let's turn on the HID. There we go. So now the HIDs are on. So if you look at the cabinets or the pattern that the light is putting on the cabinet, you could see that the new LED fog light color with the HID is a closer match than over there, where you could obviously see a distinct difference between the yellow halogen and the bright white LED or the bright white HID. So that's the look I was going for. I want a more uniform, cohesive look to the light output than something that doesn't match. So let's go ahead and do the other side, and we're done with this one. Guys, if you can afford it, get power tools. I used to always do things before, obviously by hand, turn the ratchet, turn the screwdriver, blah, blah, blah. These save time. I know they're expensive, especially a good set. They run a good amount of money, a couple $100, whatever it is. But get a power screwdriver, get an impact wrench, and it'll save you a bunch of time. You're not dealing with, turning huge wrenches, trying to get your, and especially when there's a ton of screws or a ton of bolts, this makes life much easier. Hey guys, I didn't check my doorstep today. I wasn't expecting this till later, but we have another mod that we're gonna install today too. It's not really a mod, more of a convenience thing. But anyway, got this box from Lloyd Mats. So obviously, you know what that means. The car unfortunately didn't come with any floor mats, so I got a trunk mat and floor mats. So as you can see, they have the ZR1 stitching. They look super nice and they feel really nice too. So already happy about that, and already I got them dirty anyway. Let's hope they fit. Anyway guys, so we'll put those in the car too. Alright guys, so we got the fog lights in, the wheels are back on, they're torqued. The next thing is to get this exhaust controller mounted. So basically this is the button. So when you hit this, it goes loud, hit it again, it'll go quiet. This basically gets mounted to your dead pedal that is to the left of the clutch where you rest your foot when it's not on the clutch. So I'm going to drill a hole. This is going to get mounted into there, and then obviously you see the wiring has to get fished over from the driver's side to the passenger side footwell, because that is where the fuse box is. So we got the instructions. Basically we are tapping into one of the fuses to control the exhaust. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, guys. I'm going to pull apart the foot pedal so I can see where I'm going to mount this thing, and then start fishing across the wires, and then see where I end up. Hopefully it's not too bad. I got the switch mounted. Basically I had to drill a hole in the center of the dead pedal. I started off with a small drill bit, worked my way up in steps until I got to a 1/2 inch drill bit, drilled a 1/2 inch hole, stuck the switch in from behind, and then I tightened down the lock nut from the top. So there it's mounted. It's toward the top, so it's out of the way of your foot all the time, and it's in the center. So now I'm going to put it back in the car and then run the wiring to the passenger side so that it could get access to the fuse box in the passenger side footwell. Picking up from the last video, I was in the middle of switching out the exhaust controller in the footwell, and I did the whole process, ran the switch from the driver's side to the passenger side through the top of the transmission tunnel behind the HVAC system. It sounds crazy, but it wasn't that hard. You just fish something from the passenger side over, wrap the wiring over it, pull it over to the passenger side. I hooked it up and everything. I started the car and I would hit the switch and nothing was happening. The exhaust would just stay open the whole time, both flaps. So it was always loud, and I'd switch it wouldn't close. So I pulled the controller back out. I put a regular fuse in there like it's supposed to be, just to see if the car would start in the closed mode, which it's supposed to do stock or from the factory, and it would still stay open. So I knew it wasn't the controller and it wasn't the fuse, it had to be something else. So did some searching or whatever and found out that there's a solenoid that sits behind the bumper, and you have to access it through this taillight and this taillight. So there's just a screw here and a screw here, and these pop out, and then basically there's a solenoid that sits back there, and it's like a vacuum controlled solenoid. So the solenoid's controlled by, controls the vacuum that goes to the flaps, whatever. Basically, that solenoid was bad. I had to order a replacement one. I ordered the replacement one, put it in, put the controller back in, and finally the foot switch worked. So now that I've been using it, it's really cool. When I start the car in the morning, the flaps are closed because I don't want my neighbors next door to complain about, the noise or whatever at 5 in the morning when I'm heading to work or heading to the gym. And then, I leave it open right when I get onto the street because I want to hear the car, obviously. And then on the freeway in 6th gear when I'm, just cruising on a road trip or whatever, I hit the switch and no drone. So it's really cool. I got a couple more things in the mail actually that I wanted to go ahead and install. I took advantage of some Black Friday sales. So from Vet Lights, which is what it sounds like, it's basically a company that sells any type of lighting for Corvettes. So here's their card. So that's vetlights.com, and I found them on Instagram, just like following other Corvette pages. This was one of the pages I started following. Saw that a lot of people were buying their stuff. So when it came to Black Friday, I ordered the basically the interior LED lighting package. So it replaces the map lights from the rear view mirror, and then the footwell lights, and then the trunk lights. Changes everything to LED. I also got super bright LED reverse lights. Because this thing, you can't really see behind it. There's no backup camera or whatever. So when I do parallel park it at night or when I reverse or whatever, it could use some more light because it's pretty dark back there. And until I get a different head unit to replace the radio with the backup camera, I really can't see behind me. So any advantage with lighting or whatever it is, I really need with it. So took advantage of the Black Friday sale, used the discount code that they were offering at the time, got 15% off. Super cool company. I mean, if you follow their page on Instagram, they're always posting awesome vets. They're always reposting my pictures. So shout out to Vet Lights for the support. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put these in. I'm going to show you guys some before and afters of some of the things that are going, or some of the lights. And then, so guys, hopefully the lighting's okay and you guys can see this. But basically, I am replacing the, I'm replacing the map lights here. So that's the map light. I just pop these little covers off. You stick a screwdriver in here and it pops out. And you just pull the bulb and swap it out. So go ahead and do that. As you can see, this is what the lights look like now. It's that, typical incandescent or halogen lighting with a yellow hue to it. So just want to update it with a little more bright white LED light. There it is, guys. Got both sides of the map light switched out. You can see how much brighter it is in the car compared to earlier. I turned the garage lights off, and you can see the footwells are still the regular lighting, so I'm going to swap that out and see how much more brighter we can get it in here. Alright, there it is, guys. Swap the map lights and the footwells. Do a quick little vacuum on the mats there because they were pretty dirty. And you can see how much brighter it is in here. I mean, it's so much brighter than before. Way better color lighting. Obviously, the other lighting sucked pretty bad. In the C6 Vet, there's a light here and a light here to help you just, you know, whatever you're pulling out of the trunk at night, just gives you a better view. So I'm going to go ahead and swap those out because those are the last two bulbs besides the flip down mirror lights that need to be LED. There we go, guys. So the LEDs in the trunk too, so nice and bright. And I also got the reverse lights, so I'm going to go ahead and go do those now. In order to do that, I have to basically get on the floor, reach up under here, under the stock diffuser, and then you just turn out the bulb, put in the new bulb, turn it back in. So I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll see what that looks like. So there you go, guys. Here's a little comparison between the Vet Lights LED reverse light and the standard one. So pretty big difference. Way more light on the LED side. So we're gonna go ahead and go swap the driver's side and get this all wrapped up. There we go, guys. So all the LEDs are swapped in. I got the reverse lights, got the trunk lights, got the interior lights, and you saw that we already did the fog lights. Unfortunately, the fog lights aren't by Vet Lights, even though they sell LED fog lights, super bright ones. But before I found Vet Lights, I got these ones off of Amazon. Anyway, these are pretty cool too. Maybe not as bright, but they're good enough for me for now. But yeah, guys, that's all the LEDs. We're gonna go ahead and turn the lights back on here. So thanks for sticking with me, guys. If you made it this far in the video, kind of boring, I know, just swap some lights or whatever, but I promise, you know, the videos to come are gonna be much better. We're gonna go out for drives. I'll give you guys a full review in car and outside the car after having the car for a month. And it's been an awesome month, to tell you the truth. I love this car. Awesome car. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate the support. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If it's your first time on the channel and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so you guys can see more of the videos that I got to come. And if you guys got an Instagram, check me out on Instagram. It's at NorCalDailyDriven. I post pictures almost daily. Really cool pictures, so check it out. Thanks for the support. Until next video, enjoy the ride.